Here she is.
Let's remember that before I walked into court, we had already lost.
That's your opening line. That's it. That's your opening line. This isn't my fault. This motherfucker's so guilty, I didn't even have a chance. I mean, did you see the facts of my case? What am I supposed to do? The guy's fucking, I don't know. Jeez, I'm not even getting paid for this shit. And my check is signed Ghislaine Maxwell. How did that happen? I don't. I need to see that again. Hold on.
Good afternoon. Let's remember that before I walked into court, we had already.
Mention. It's very quiet still, but like to mention as opposed to like to remember. Whatever.
Lost. That was clear with his motion for summary judgment. Before witnesses, before experts, and do I think any of it mattered? I certainly hope so. But for anybody that was in the courtroom for the last 11 weeks, you heard that there was not one fact against President Trump.
Well, yeah, there was. I mean, I don't want to nitpick. And they're minor. Sure, they're minor. Like, for example, he said one of his buildings, as a matter of fact, I think the building you're actually in had 10 more floors than it actually does. And that, now, I've never been in 40 Wall Street in this Trump place. I've never been there. So what I would suggest to you, that if you think there were no facts introduced or brought up in the testimony, I would get in the elevator and don't get out until you reach the 76th floor. So don't that might be also his actual apartment in Trump Tower is a third the size he said it was. That I gotta say, how the banks felt sounds like not a fact. The opinion may be bullshit. You could pay somebody to say that, but a measuring tape could fuck up your argument here. I'm just saying.
There was not one piece of paper that showed anyone committed fraud. And don't forget that Section 6312, a consumer fraud statute, has been wrongfully used against my client.
Yeah, but you don't understand. I'm not concerned about him, and I'm not concerned about you or anybody in the lobby there. You know, I'm worried about the person who rented an office on the 73rd floor of the building you're in and has probably frozen to death. They're clinging to the top of the building, and they're. Could you at least run them a blanket?
Innocent defendants, the organization, and every employee of the Trump organization, which is.
Well, I mean, Alan Weisselberg did go to jail.
Single-handedly changed the New York skyline, including the building we are in today.
Well, I mean, do you mean that everybody thought that building was a lot taller than it actually is, or?
These are special
Oh, now they got the audio up. Thanks. That finally they boosted.
Properties. Real estate is an art.
Yeah, you're not a real estate agent, dipshit. I'm not. This isn't like flip this old Trump. Jesus Christ, woman. The place, it's either got 76 floors or it doesn't. Go look in the elevator, come back, and shut the fuck up.
Not a science.
Real estate's not a science. I would argue that architecture and engineering, perhaps very much involved in the real estate business, Madam Hutt.
But you know what else is an art?
Hunter Biden's paintings. No, that's not it. She's not going to say that.
You know what else
What?
isn't a science?
I don't know how you deal with your client's body odor.
Political motivated individuals. She's using this.
That's an art. There's an, well, if that is, then I got to say, Letitia James is Michelangelo.
To paint a canvas that Donald Trump is a fraudster because they can't.
Well, be careful, because if there's an actual painting of Donald Trump as a fraudster, he might defraud a charity and use their money to buy it because he likes paintings of himself. This is a shit analogy. This is really bad.
Beat him in the polls. They can't beat him in the polls. So she ran on Trump because that was the only way she could win. And
well, if they can't beat him in the polls, then she couldn't have run on getting Trump because she would have lost because she can't beat.
now,
Jesus.
today, after 11 weeks, after 3 years.
3 years and 11 weeks. Oh my God, it's so cute, you know. This legal impact that this legal situation he's going through is it's like a toddler now. I can saying its first words like fuck this.
We have concluded that he indeed committed no wrong. The Trump organization.
We have? Well, gee, well done. It's weird that you couldn't convince the court of that. Maybe you're talking, Jesus. Maybe when you say no evidence was submitted in court, you're talking about your side of the case, I guess?
Committed no wrong. And the kids have been dragged in.
Kids? They're in their 40s.
Just like the other defendants. And
well, they work in the company. Jesus Christ, if you... I don't want Michael involved in the family. I don't want him dragged into this. Pop, they keep pulling me back in.
it is wrong. America needs to step up. And there's only one person.
America needs to step up, and there's only one person that could make them step up the steps of the Capitol and attack police officers and take a shit in the rotunda. This man right here who smells like he's taking a shit in the rotunda right now. I gotta say, this is, I can't, could someone turn my mic up? Because he's not even farting. That's just the sound of air escaping his diaper. We need to staple the seal on there, seriously.
Who can do that? My client, Donald Trump. President Trump, everybody.
President Trump, everybody. Get this fucker out of here. I told him we lost. I told him I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do about it. God damn it. How am I supposed to put this shit? President Trump, everybody. Not getting fucking paid now, am I? Jesus. Should have gotten paid in advance. Anyways, here he is.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've gone through.
Wait till you get to the mic, dum-dum. I don't know if you've ever been in that building before, but the acoustics are terrible. He's such an asshole.
Years with this person.
Wait, who's this person? What, you mean her or like Letitia James or? I'm so confused. All right.
And there's only one person who can do that. My client, Donald Trump. President Trump, everybody.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we've gone through.
And by everybody, I mean all 8 of you, including the 6 that were with us in the car. I gotta say, we have right now, how many people? Oh my God. Like in my little combined chat, just in the restream right now, I got like almost 3,000 people in here. And I feel like an asshole saying everybody when people are gathered, like you're here watching this. Oh yeah. All right, everybody. Like I feel like a dickhead saying that. All right, everybody. And you could just hear like single claps in the background. Like, January 6th, they never show it, but probably the biggest crowd I've ever spoken to. And this might be indeed The smallest.
Years with this person. She's a political hack, the Attorney General.
Okay, good. I was just clarifying because this person might have been the person who was just standing there, and she's also a she, and so it kind of helps if you're. Never mind. This is rambling.
The judge is obviously extremely friendly with
Jewish.
the group. And
Extremely friendly with the group. Oh, them. Aha. The group. Uh-huh. Oh, I know what you. I get what you're laying down. The group. Most people. Is there a QAnon translator in the crowd? The group is another name for the Pizzagate crowd, right, or something. Groupers. Maybe it's a bunch of fish. Maybe that's why she got her lips done. I don't know.
we'll see what happens. I think
yes, we will. And I first of all, your business is going to be dissolved in the state of New York, and you'll never be able to do business in the state of New York again. And your sons won't be able to do it for at least 5 years, if ever. And for the record, that's just going to happen. The amount of money you're going to end up paying is somewhere between $270 and $350 million, maybe more.
maybe he may surprise people on a positive side. We'll have to see.
No. Well, I take it back. It depends on your definition of what constitutes positive. And to me, I mean, just the fact that you're going to have to stop doing business in the state of New York is very surprising. It's very fun. Yeah.
What happens exactly, but
Yeah, exactly. We don't know yet. I mean, it could go either way. I really felt like the energy in the room was like I was listening to the judge talk to me, and when he told my attorney, control your client, while I was blathering like an asshat, I really felt like, I don't know, there's a twinkle in his eye. It might go my way.
we've proven this case so conclusively. We've asked for directed verdict many times. They don't have any facts. They don't have any evidence against us.
You're literally in one of the buildings that you lied about its occupancy and the number of floors it has. You're in the building. You're in it. You're standing in a building you said had 76 floors and it only has 62 or some shit like that. Like, no. Like, you can't even ballpark. Like, just bullshit your way through it. This is just dumb.
Millions and millions of pages, years of litigation.
And yet, you don't even need all those pages to go, how tall did you say that thing was? Because it ain't. Like, I don't care how many years of litigation, how many millions of pieces of paper you have. It's not going to make your fucking apartment any bigger unless you built an addition out of compressed paper.
And all politically motivated. She campaigned on a "I will get Trump."
And she won. That should tell you something about how New Yorkers feel about
If
you.
you've ever seen any of her clips.
You never seen any of it? I don't know why.
Millions of pages, years of litigation, and all politically motivated. She campaigned on a "I will get Trump." If you've ever seen any of
I've seen any of it.
her clips, they're horrible clips, actually.
Oh, the clips. Oh, the clips. Oh, I hate the clips. Don't you guys hate the clips? Oh, you know what I hate worse than the clips? It's neck waddle.
Anger. She's got serious Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, technically speaking, since she took you to court and she kicked your ass, I think whatever she's mad about, there's sort of there's a basis for it legally.
No question about it. Letitia James, the corrupt Attorney General of New York.
Just, like she's a corrupt, whatever. I don't even know how to feel about it. I feel kind of bad about the whole thing. It's just gonna.
So we've proven our case. There's not one witness against us other than one person who is a deranged. He's got a lot of problems. He's a man.
He was your best friend. He was your fixer. That'd make anybody crazy.
Who's been convicted of lying.
On your behalf.
He's a felon, convicted felon. And
for lying for you. He went to jail for you.
Not a good.
You tried to keep him from writing a book while he was in jail after he was sent to jail for lying for you.
Person, but that's their only witness, and he's now crazy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Every New Yorker who's ever seen your building, from that building you're in, from the outside, knows they're a witness to the crime. They can count the fucking windows right up the side of the building, you dumbass.
Christian Byrne, they have no witnesses. And by the way, that witness took back everything that he said. He took
No, he didn't.
back everything he said in
No, he didn't.
court, took it all back.
No, he didn't. He did not take everything back.
So they have no.
He said you use mob language instead of saying, stab that guy in the chest. He said that guy is the kind of guy who should have more holes in him, which is kind of a roundabout way of saying.
Case, it's a shame that a thing like this is able to happen.
Able to happen.
Businesses leave New York. She went after Exxon, and they decided to move to Texas.
Yeah, it's a weird move for an oil company.
And hundreds of millions of dollars they pay in taxes. I paid over $300 million of taxes over the last number of years. 300.
Only when caught. And by the way, you got the only reason you couldn't show is with that whole bit about him. I'm having an audit, so I can't show my taxes. And as soon as the audit's done, I'll show you my taxes. He wasn't being audited. He'd gotten a $76 million tax refund that he didn't earn. The IRS noticed after he'd already cashed the check, essentially put it in and said, you know, we want it back. And so he was fighting with them. That's there wasn't an audit. They were trying to get their money back.
Million. And
they just, by the way, they just ended up denying him the ability to count against, you know, on his businesses against future losses. And so they're getting it back that way instead of having to claim it directly back, which is why he's had to pay so much in taxes after he left the White House, is because they're getting their money back that way.
And they don't recognize that. They don't recognize anything.
I don't recognize you, actually. I don't even know who you are. Who is this man? I mean, I know he used to be a politician or something, but that was a long time ago. And we've all grown so much.
So think of it, not one witness, millions of pages of document, years of this nonsense, and now it goes on. And one other factor, it doesn't involve that weird piece of paper. Like are you holding an article that you're going to use as evidence to support I don't even call this an argument. We won this case already in the court.
No, you didn't. No, Ivanka won this case already because she didn't get included in it. That was the big win.
Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals voted in favor of us. But
no, they did not.
This judge has been very, very slow to accept that opinion because.
Very slow. As a matter of fact, I don't know. Never is an extra-temporal concept. It's beyond even a category of time because you can't have half of never. You understand what I'm saying? So he's taking all the time, I guess.
That's not the opinion that he wants, but we won in the Court of Appeals. That's the boss of this judge. He has to know that.
No, you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. This is ridiculous.
And it was
Why'd you show up then? If you won in the Court of Appeals, you can't go through a trial again. You can't appeal something before there's already been a judgment. You didn't win. What are you talking about? Why were you in court all this time if you'd already won? What legal basis did they have to even assume your lawyers would show up to a room in that building?
Inclusive victory, statute of limitations, and other.
Yeah, statute of limitations. You caught me, but you caught me too late.
Things.
But when you do it, when Hunter Biden it gets past the statute of limitations, it's a crime and it's a shame and a sham and a crime and a sham. But if I do it, it's because I'm smart and lucky and smart.
And that case has already been won. So that's the story. And I thought
it is a story. I will give him that. It's not really true. You know, some stories are true, some are fiction. It's a gray area.
Come down to 40 Wall Street, which is a great building, and you'd get.
Yes, it's a great big building. It's not as big as you said it was.
A chance to see one of the nicest buildings in New York.
You've never seen it before?
And a convenient place, and I don't have to pay any rent because we have it, and it's been a very successful building.
Wait, you're moving into 40 Wall Street? I don't have to pay any rent? Oh, he doesn't have to rent the lobby because he owns it? Is that the idea? They need... But you would have had to rent space in Trump Tower? What? Who's in your apartment now, dude?
But it's a shame to have to have gone through this for years and years and years. And now we'll see if we're going to get an honest verdict. We didn't have a jury. We had no rights to a jury.
Well, you might want to talk to the lady with the duck lips that you were just if she's still there. Did she leave? She probably left. If I was her, I would leave.
It's a statute that's never been used before for a purpose like this. I just watched a certain broadcast and they said, they've
a certain broadcast.
been looking, has it ever been used before? This is a statute that's a consumer fraud statute, never been used for anything.
Well, see, you've always said you're special. You're such a big deal that they're dusting off laws for you that nobody was dumb enough to try and break.
Thing like this before.
Yes, because no one else has ever cheated the banks and the IRS by pretending a building had floors like an accordion.
And it's a shame.
But is it a sham, though?
It's really it's
shame?
a witch hunt in the truest sense of the word.
No. It's not a witch hunt in the truest sense of the word. First of all, witch hunt is 2 words. Secondly, unless you're admitting that you're a witch, which look, some of the people in my chat room are suggesting we find out if there's a pond nearby. I don't agree with that kind of behavior. I think it's wrong. But no, there were women who were burned to death. There's still women being killed in the Middle East and Africa who are hunted down and burned alive because someone called them a witch. This is a corporate court case.
Election interference. And it just came out.
I just read this. I saw an article. Now, a lot of articles are written, but this one said something I like.
It was just right now, Letitia James visited Joe Biden in the White House numerous times during the Trump witch hunt. And this just came.
So? And? You do realize AGs from the states all meet with the White House, a lot of them, all the time. As a matter of fact, most of them take, with the exception of the, Texas and some of the red states, have multiple visits there, just White House gatherings.
About 10 minutes ago, I guess.
Yeah, 10 minutes ago, she walked right in there, high-fived him. He put on some shades, and they had a laugh about it, and now I'm fucked.
And so it's all a conspiracy to try.
It's all a conspiracy to try and make your buildings smaller than you said they were bigger than.
And get Biden, who can't put 2 sentences together, trying to get him into office. So I just want to.
He's already in office. He's already in office. He's in office now. He's Obama's not the president anymore. You do realize that? Do we have smelling salts? Does anybody have something that can somebody hold a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish under his nose and wake him up? He's starting to fade.
Let you know that we have our best poll numbers. We have the best everything. Despite this.
Yeah, you got the best everything. I don't even know why you look depressed. Why I would be tap dancing if I were you.
And maybe because of this, because the people of the United States, all of those people back there.
Oh yeah, tons of them. Because there's
even outside, it's packed.
I mean, God, 40. Well, all those people back there. The staff and security who have to be here because it's their job. Though they know, and if they don't say they know, then they're fired.
But the people of the United States really get it. They get it better.
Also, technically speaking, are we sure that those people are documented workers? I mean, it is a Trump property.
Than anybody else. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, do you agree with your lawyers what they said on Tuesday that you should not be prosecuted or could not be prosecuted if you ordered SEAL Team 6 to kill a political opponent?
Well, you're talking about a totally different case, the immunity. I say this.
Yeah, because you've already lost this one. It's not news anymore.
On immunity, very simple. If a president of the United States does not have immunity, he'll be totally ineffective because he won't be able to do anything, because it will mean he'll be prosecuted, strongly prosecuted perhaps.
Strongly, very strongly prosecuted by sweaty men covered in body oil.
As soon as he leaves office by the opposing party.
Or she. I mean, I thought weren't you going to lock her up or something? That sounds like strongly prosecuted.
So a president of the United States, I'm not talking just me, I'm talking.
No. You want Joe Biden to have absolute immunity. I just say it. As a matter of fact, why in the world wouldn't Sean Hannity ask you that question? He bugged you about the whole dictator thing and you set him straight. So why in the ever-loving dog shit won't Sean Hannity ask you, do you want Joe Biden, with this court ruling, to be the most powerful president in history because he has been given absolute immunity for the first time in our nation's history by the courts or whatever? Why do you want to give Joe Biden absolute immunity to do anything and never be prosecuted for it? Good luck, fuckwad.
Any president has to have immunity.
I agree. So ask him the question again, and then say, so it would be okay with you if Joe Biden ordered SEAL Team 6 to kill you and nobody could do anything about it. I mean, do you really want to win that case?
As an example, Biden could come out and you could get him on the border. You could get him on what happened in Afghanistan.
No, you couldn't.
Horrible, most embarrassing moment in the history of this country.
Yeah, nobody gets tried for embarrassment, or you'd be in court every day just about your makeup. You can't get it back to your ears? What's stopping you? Is there tape on your head when you put it on? Is it a little mask that you put your face into and it's just too small for your big fucking melon? Is that what it is?
You could get them on a lot of different things. You could get them taking cash from countries. You could get
taking cash from countries.
Get him on the prosecutor not prosecuting his son or the company or whoever it was, Burisma.
Whoever.
In Ukraine. You could get him on that, where he
was vice president. You could, the Spiro Agnew, if it was a crime, you could get him. He was the vice president. You can't, he's not doing that now. He never did it, but if he did do it, and that's what you're saying, that happened while he was vice president. So you want the vice president to have total immunity as well. So not only could Biden drone strike you? Hold on one second. But not only could Biden fucking drone strike you and then pardon himself and have a nice lunch, but so could Kamala Harris? That's your argument. You think that's a good idea. That's when I have a big brain. That's what the stable genius thinks is a good idea. That not only the president, but the vice president could kill him and then just write themselves a note like, I absolve myself of this crime, and then eat the note, and you can't even ask for what the note said. Is that what we're doing? What a bullshit! Just dog shit. What are you talking about? This is a terrible idea. This is dumb. Somebody please, Eric, Don Jr., Ivanka, for fuck's sake, go tell your dad this is a terrible idea.
There's a quid pro quo, if you remember that. If they don't drop the prosecutor, we're not giving them $1 billion of U.S. funds.
By the way, we didn't give them $1 billion of U.S. funds. We had loan guarantees that the IMF would use. The IMF gave them money, and we guaranteed $1 billion of it. The IMF was going to withhold $70 billion unless Shokin was fired. Why do I even bother? No one's come up to him in this whole fucking time and brought this up to him at all?
You don't have immunity. You can, you won't be making any decisions. So you have to have it. And I liken it to the fact that police have to have their control back. They have to have
their control back, their groove back.
Have respect.
Well, respect is something that's earned. It's not automatic. That's if people lose respect for the police, it's a mixture of things that cops have done that have denigrated the uniform and other people's assumptions about the other cops. And so there's a middle ground of why am I even trying to talk to this dickhead?
And you can always have a bad apple. You can always have something happen. But at the same time,
yeah, a bad apple. It's a bad apple. You know what I mean? It's like when Cenk Uygur said that, that when Hamas raped and murdered women, it was, I think he called it dumb and ineffective, unfortunate, something stupid like that.
you have to stop crime in this country.
Yeah, you do. Well, it's funny that you say that because your criming just kind of got stopped. We're waiting to literally see how much.
It's very much like that. It's very similar to that. But you have to have immunity for a president. And I think most people are seeing that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean fucking, I don't know, Nixon could have skated for what he did. You don't have absolute immunity. You argued absolute immunity, shithead.
I've read a lot of legal reports lately and scholarly reports.
Have you? You really? Yeah? You dug in there? Did you get a lot of those little flags and you stuck it on good points? Were you underlining things? Have you read scholarly reports lately? Have you? Because I don't think
Bullshit!
so. I think that's I don't think you read anything but headlines, and if somebody underlines words for you in an article, you'll glance at them. Scholarly art.
That are saying you really have to have a president of this country has to have immunity.
They do, but they don't have absolute immunity. They can't do anything they want. They have wide latitude in their job of protecting the country and in their duties to protect the country, but they can't just commit a crime to benefit themselves financially, pardon themselves, and resign. So as long as they're never impeached, they can't go to jail. It's just fucking stupid.
Or they're not going to be able to function in office. Yeah, Bob?
President Trump, we're just
Yeah, Bob. Oh, it's people you know. That's good.
days away from the Iowa caucuses. What percentage of your time these days is spent on your campaign? And what percentage is spent?
100%. What do you think this is? A real legal argument? Are you shitting me? Think he was in court today for legal reasons? He's already fucked. He was in court today as a campaign stop. He stepped outside of the court because it was as a campaign stop. This shit is a campaign stop. All of it. He only campaigns. That's his whole fucking life. This asshole never even fired anybody on The Apprentice, much less in the fucking White House. He had other people do it. He's always campaigning. It's all a show. He's a flim-flam man. In the Elvis movie, he's the Tom Hanks character.
On your legal issues.
He's the colonel.
Well, see, my legal issues, every one of them, everyone, civil and the criminal ones, are all set up by Joe Biden, crooked Joe Biden.
Well, it's weird that so Joe Biden tricked you into hiding classified documents in the shitter at Mar-a-Lago, 18 feet from an opening that anybody can walk through in a room that had no lock on it for months, and made you fight for over a year to not give them back when you knew they were classified. He did that. He did that. Joe Biden set you up. Here's my question. I don't know that you guys have ever really hung out much. I mean, I know you saw him at the debates and that kind of stuff. How did he know you were that fucking stupid? You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's just a good judge of character from a distance. Maybe that's what being a politician's all about. You know, maybe just that's the skill he developed the most. He can just spot a bullshit artist from a long way off, and he can certainly, I don't know, maybe for all we know, Joe Biden paid his way through school, playing 3-card Monte and winning, and he can see a sucker on the train in a second.
This is something that's never happened in this country. Even
Yeah, but we've never had an asshole like you in there, so.
when you look at this is all about Biden and her meeting. So even the civil
They met? Oh, dear God.
ones, this is civil, they're set up by Biden. Every single, just about, case that I'm involved in is set up by Biden. They're doing it for election interference.
Did you think Biden set up the classified documents case before we knew you had them? Or after? because I noticed you gave up on the whole the FBI planted shit when the audio of you came out of you talking about documents and showing them to Mark Meadows' autobiographer, which, by the way, it should be a crime that Mark Meadows' autobiographer, I guess biographer, but they were ghostwriting, so yeah, Mark Meadows' biographer. Those three word shapes should not be said together. That in and of itself should be a crime. Mark Meadows' biographer.
And in a way, I guess you'd consider it part of the campaign, because if you really look at it, they are doing this. It's never been done like this in this country. It's like we're a third world.
Well, and again, I don't doubt that somewhere along the way, some presidential candidate, I mean, look at the dirty tricks that Tricky Dick Nixon was doing, right? I'm sure somebody wanted to try this before, but they didn't have an opponent that was as dumb as you. See, that's the thing. You're like, oh, I'd really love to fucking sucker some dumbass into all sorts of unforced errors. If only I could get my opponent to say a building has 10 more floors than it actually does. In financial statements, getting a loan. Oh, that would be so sweet. Unfortunately, my opponent isn't a dipshit. But maybe in the future, in the you know, it's 1864 right now, and maybe 1912, maybe in the 30s, perhaps even in the 2000s, when everybody's in a jet car, when I don't even know what a jet is yet. Maybe that'll happen one day. But I wish I could get my opponent to be that stupid.
World country, a banana republic. But every one of the things that you write about are Biden indictments.
I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe you know this person. Maybe all they do is write about you. So perhaps you're right. But I would guess that they have other stories they're working on. The world does you don't actually think the world revolves around you, do you?
And I don't know. You know, I just got a poll. We just had a poll. It just
that John McLaughlin showed me that he dressed
came
up
out.
while we were at the Iowa caucuses. He was standing right next to me, and he just wrote it on a piece of paper and showed it to me.
We're leading massively in Iowa. We're leading very big in New Hampshire.
No, actually. If Nikki Haley gets half of the Chris Christie voters, half, she beats you in New Hampshire. Yeah. According to the most recent polling, yeah, if she gets half of Chris Christie's people, yeah, she beats him in New Hampshire. Ouch.
We're leading because the people understand this stuff. These are all set up. Every time somebody sees me in court, remember, Joe Biden.
Every time you see me, remember this particular lie.
And his thugs.
His thugs. He means the black people that Biden's always associating with black people. You know what we're talking about. I like that word thug, you know, and throw that one around.
Surround him, did it.
Jesus Christ. The way you describe Biden, if I had never seen him, I would expect Biden to have a fucking face tattoo. Just fucking, yo, people, I'm your president. Ladies and gentlemen, these MAGA Republicans, give me a beat. I was like, who the fuck is, the way he talks about Biden, it's like, in the middle of a Biden speech, somebody just leans in and goes, yeah.
They're trying to get a man in office that can't put two sentences together.
He's already in office, and he's put a lot of sentences together, especially in bills he's passed, including the Infrastructure Act, which you couldn't get passed. Yeah. He's in office. I don't know why he keeps saying this. This is fucking weird. He's in office right now. They're trying to get him in office. You could say they're trying to keep him in office. That would make sense. But you're a lunatic. He's in office. He currently is actually in, I don't know why. He said this like 7 times today.
And they're doing that. But so far we seem to do very well.
You have the Iowa caucuses Monday.
Yes, so far you seem to do very well. You lost, you're going to lose this, and you're going to lose next time. Dude, Nikki Haley is this close to kicking your ass in New Hampshire. You won 98% of the Republican vote last time. 25% of the Republicans are not going to vote for this motherfucker. No way. Not happening. If he's the nominee, they're staying home, or they're voting third party, or they're writing somebody else in, and it's not going to be a loss in votes for Joe Biden. It's going to fuck this dude. That's it. Like, I don't give a shit if they RFK their way through this. It doesn't matter. Biden is not losing votes through RFK or anybody. Trump is. There's just no, it's not happening. You can't lose 25% of your fucking party and beat the guy who is backed by all the women and the men who love them in this country who believe they should have the right to choose.
An event in New Hampshire Tuesday. Are you going to be back and forth for the Eugene Carroll case on Wednesday?
Yeah, well, that's another one. That's sponsored by Reid Hoffman and some Democrat operatives. I never saw this woman in my life other than that. I have a picture with her and her husband, John Johnson, a nice guy who was a newscaster many years ago. I remember him, and she said horrible things about him since. I mean, horrible things. Called
Weird. It's you bring that up because the horrible things you've said about your exes, or
them bad names.
Biden's a menace to society.
I have no idea who this woman is.
I don't know who she is. All I know is Biden and his thugs killed Tupac and Biggie. Mic drop. It's so interesting, you know. Everybody makes this big case that while I'm president, Epstein gets arrested, put in federal penitentiary, and then in federal jail, and then ends up hanging himself in jail, and everybody's up my ass because I was in his plane a bunch of times and hired his lawyer to be my impeachment lawyer and hang out with him all the time, you know. But meanwhile, Biden's in office, and they find out who killed Tupac and Biggie, and he turns himself in. Shit.
I have absolutely no idea. The whole thing is ridiculous that this is even a case.
There should be like a little thing every time he lies about the Eugene Carroll thing again, that there should just be like a cha-ching, 1 more million. Cha-ching, 1 more million. Cha-ching, like, motherfucker, it's going to cost you this again. Shut the fuck up. He's a moron, folks. Yeah.
This should never have happened. But again, this is sponsored by the Democrats. It's another.
Sponsored by the Democrats. Yeah. I'm Joe Biden, and I sponsor this sexual assault case against this pussy-grabbing dickhead.
Other case, all sponsored by, it's a demeaning kind of a thing, and that's what
all sponsored by, it's a demeaning kind of a thing.
they want to do.
It's a demeaning kind of a thing they want to do. Why is it demeaning? It's locker room talk. Who gives a shit?
Called election interference. And yeah, I'm going to go to it, and I'm going to explain. I don't know who the hell she is. I have no idea. They called me.
Yeah, you already lost that part, fuckhead. That's what you said last time, and you lost.
Me up years ago, and they said, do you know about this woman 25 or 30 years ago? She doesn't even know the date, the time,
She's got the dress, though. And yeah, she does. And also, for the record, it sounds a lot like, I have sexually assaulted so many women. I don't know who the hell she is. Like, they all look alike after a while. I was just walking around like I was a ball in a pinball machine looking for Ivanka bumpers.
month, the season. She has no idea. And if you read and if you watch, take a look at the Anderson Cooper interview of her. And if you take a look at that, Trump is so innocent.
When you talk about yourself in the third person in regards to a sexual assault case, when you're doing a branding name drop, I'm just gonna say, never one to want to give advice to fucking grotesque pig men in the world, but I'm gonna go out on a limb again and say, don't name drop your fucking self when you're talking about sexual assault. Don't remind people of your name and your name brand at that moment. That's the time to start using vague pronouns. And by the way, her name. You use her name a lot, and because you know who's doing this, but you don't use your own. I don't know why the fuck. But see, you know what my problem is? And I'm thinking through this like you guys are thinking through this. I'm thinking like an innocent person. So it's yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, that's as an innocent person. That's what I would do.
But we have been given a very unfair trial there too. I don't get very fair trials in New York.
And you lived there your whole life, so maybe you should have left earlier. Maybe did you just not get the message? I mean, here's the thing. If you live in a city where after 1989 you get booed everywhere you go, I would move.
Thinking about whether you're going to show up for the federal trial. You've showed up here in New York for your civil fraud trial. You've just said you're going to show up for the E.G. Carroll case. Are you planning to show up in court when they begin, whenever they begin?
Sure.
Documents?
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're like free campaign things. Sure. I'm going to show up there. Some of the time, I have a golf thing tomorrow that I can't, obviously. I'll be there for day one of the I'm a rapist pig trial. And then, and then I've got a golf thing. And then I'll come up for day 3 of I'm a rapist pig trial. And then maybe the last week of it or so.
I would do that. Well, the documents case, I just hear where they want to try and exonerate Biden, and he didn't have the Presidential Records Act, and I do.
Oh, God. Senators' papers aren't under the Presidential Records Act, and all senators when they leave the Senate, a lot of them donate them to the legal or political wing of whatever school they went to. That's what Biden did. It's just stupid. Oh, God.
What I did, nothing wrong. What he did, a lot of people say substantially wrong.
A lot of people? What? Like who? Besides you. I mean, we've heard you say it a lot. Just one name. Just give me somebody. Anybody. And not your attorneys, too. I guess that I would leave them out as well, because they're legally, you're paying them, maybe you're not even paying them. They're legally obligated to bullshit on your behalf. So anybody, just anybody.
You can't have 2 tiers of justice in this country. But
agreed. That's why you've been in court the last few
No,
weeks.
I want to go to all of my trials. These are all set up by Biden and the Democrats. This is their new form of cheating. This is like last time.
Why would they have, if the last time worked really well? I mean, I guess, that's the thing. I mean, if they managed to fuck you up in the voting booth and they weren't even in office, Jesus, you were president of the United States and you got ousted by a bunch of Democratic activists in a couple of different counties, and they kick your ass, and then what are you supposed to, why would they need to change anything? They're just, I mean, you got something that works. Why, don't change horses midstream.
This is their new form of cheating. So far, I think it's gone very much against them. Yeah, please.
Yes, during the hearing, you said that Exxon left New York because of the New York Attorney General's case, but
I can't hear the question.
Exxon actually left in 1989.
Oh, somebody's saying Exxon left in 1989. And that's his face as he's hearing someone say Exxon left in 1989.
No, they took the rest of their divisions out. Yeah.
The rest of their divisions out.
They left earlier. They were treated very badly in New York. You could
In 1989?
have had them in New York.
In 1987?
They could have been paying a lot of money.
In 1988? In the mid-'80s to the late 80s?
Oh, no, I think if you take a look, you read the case, study the case, you'll see
There is no case. They weren't there. They'd left in 1989.
that they took big divisions out after.
Oh, they left after they left again. They hated her so much. They left after they left.
That they originally left and then they took the rest.
Yeah, they originally left and then they came back and left again after they had left. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
You just said you could get President Biden.
Just move on from that. I think you'll find, if you look at the case that didn't happen, you'll find, if you read the thing that doesn't exist, you'll find that they left before, but they left again after without ever coming back.
Various issues you outlined.
I didn't say I could get him on anything. I said he is using the weaponization of the DOJ and the FBI to go after his political opponent. And you just can't do that. Thank you very much.
Just give it. Thank you. Thumbs up to the guy who asked the Exxon question. Great question. I'm going to go stick this thumb in my ass because my brain itches. I'll be back.
Is that ever okay to be public
Eric like cheering on a bunch of like they brought in people as he was speaking and then he leaves and he's not even saying anything to him. Woo! Where's he going? We stand in. It's cold outside. They let us come. We were gonna be his audience. And then we can't even. He's fucking leaving. I'm starting to think he doesn't care about the working class. I mean, I didn't benefit from his tax cut, but I don't know. That can't possibly be true. He's such a man of the people. By the way, that's a hell of a bulletproof vest that Secret Service lady has on there. It looks like she's smuggling a folder that was frozen, like a frozen dinner. That is. Okay, now he's coming back. He's going to say hi. Hi, people. Thank you. I came back and said hi. I'm not going to shake hands. You people are disgusting. But, thank you. I'm not coming over there. No, I can't because there's a chance one of you might be a process server. So, thank you. It's thumb time. Just saying. Also, if I could, it's too late. There's a, the echo in here is killing me. That's Jerusalem Stone. Oh, God, what an asshole. By the way, you're watching Housemarques Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. Venmo. Also, patreon.com/housemarques, and don't forget to subscribe. By God. Oh, Diana Turner, thank you so much. Look at that, gifting memberships on YouTube. I keep forgetting that's a thing. Lovely. That's so great. Also, you can do that on Twitch as well for subscriptions if you feel like it. It's just thing. And if you have one yourself, I would, you can. If you have Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you a dime. You can have, one subscription a month, and it does that.